And we buy into this. No. You can get upset if you're one with all the, the stars that make the money when they really don't supposedly have a talent like Kim Kardashian. No, seriously, people get upset. But guess what? She makes that money because we fund her lifestyle. It's because we watch, we follow on Twitter, we go to her page. We're the ones that give her the numbers to get it paid. So the society funds this, which I have a problem with the way society thinks today. But it's not even society's fault. We've been conditioned to think that way, to stay here, so that the wealthy of the wealthy can stay where they are. It's called modern day slavery.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to break that curse today. Be careful what you allow in. I'm so careful. Look, one of my best friends in the world, many of you know my best friend, Mike Hughes. And a lot of folks think we talk about everything. But there are certain things he doesn't even bring to me because he does not want to taint my belief in where I am and the things that I need to think about. Because that which occupies and inhabits your mind the most, you focus on. And that which you focus on, you attract to yourself. And I can't afford to attract certain things to myself because there's certain things I have to do for me and for you. There's certain things you have to do for you and your family and for us as well. Am I right about this?
Yes.
And so if your goal is to say, look, well, I want to be that person. I'm going to create that story. I want to be the 81-year-old in prepaid leave. Even if you haven't seen the 81-year-old, you can be the 81-year-old. If you haven't seen enough deaf associates on stage, you can be the deaf associate on stage. When your purpose is your purpose, if you can't see, you can feel your way to platinum executive director. If I was in a wheelchair, I'd roll myself to platinum executive director. There's no excuse. Because some of us have already done it. In life, they've succeeded. So, tired of the lies. I want someone to say, look, I know you don't like me to bring things to you, but I'm going to bring this to you because I think you need to know. There's an internet site, and it says that you and Brian Carruthers don't receive chargebacks. And I said, well, can you please let Randy Hart know that? The folks who say, oh man, prepaid legal is too late. Even when we go home and say the legal shield, well, it doesn't matter, it's too late. You had to get started back when D. Self got started. You had to get started back when he got started, when Dave Savola got started. But those same fools are the same ones who told me when I got started, oh, it's too late for you to get started. You're in a pyramid, the people at the top will make all the money off of you. Now they're telling everybody that I got in at the right time. Make up your mind, fool. So people always got something to say. People always got a lot to tell. I just happen to know, after watching the market analysis, that we got a whole bunch of market out there for each and every one of us. No need to be greedy, no mindset of scarcity, but a mindset of abundance. Enough for all of us to become wealthy for the rest of our lives and generations. So my friends, you know, I still have friends that say things like, it's a pyramid, right? And by the way, we ought to learn how to have posture in this business and not become argumentative. And so, I don't like to argue with folks. So I just simply say, well, what do you call a pyramid? You know, the people at the top make the most money. I said, oh, so where do you work? They give me your job. I said, does your boss make more money than you? I said, yeah. Does their boss make more money than that boss? Yeah. So you work for a pyramid? Because I'm just saying people at the top make the most money, but what I love about this is you can start at the top and fill in your own. But on the back of a dollar bill here in the U.S. is a pyramid. It said that God we trust, because that's the way this country was built. No matter where you look, no matter what organization you build, right? The church, you have to be at the top. All the congregation at the bottom, a pastor, a rabbi, even somebody at the top. Military, all the practice at the bottom, very few at the top. This is the way it works. But most folks aren't educated. They haven't educated themselves They got formal education, but no self-education. They rely on someone else to tell them what to think. As a matter of fact, they memorize. There's no critical thinking taught today. So we are creating a new generation of people. A generation that's not motivated by bitter and by hatred, but motivated by integrity, dignity, and faith. Of people that are willing to step up and not compromise who they are. Someone that says, look, if you say no today, that's okay. Because there's someone else who's waiting to say yes. It is time out for forcing people to join an opportunity that we already know can free them up for the rest of their lives, but we're forcing them to change their lives when they don't want to change their lives. We need to start telling people, no, you can't join my opportunity because you're not mentally prepared. So I was in Costco's the other day, and God has a way of humbling you and making sure you stay down to earth. And I was coming from the gym, so I thought I had more money in my pocket than I did. So I'm going up to the register, and I didn't have enough. So I had to take $17 paper towels back off the basket. Now, I've had to do this in like 15 years. And people watch them like, if somebody's in prepaid leave behind me, this is going to be bad. And I'm thinking they're going to say, I knew it wasn't working. He can afford $17 paper towels from Costco. The brother is broke. Told you to come to the coffee meeting. I'm so sorry. So we're supposed to close with money. Money. So money does matter. And we can pretend all we want. When Hurricane Katrina hit, I had a partner of mine who had money. And his daughter was going to school in Louisiana. And he called her and says, baby, you got to leave now. She's like, how am I going to get home? He says, go to the airport now and get on any flight that's available. And she says, I don't know how much it's going to cost. He said, it doesn't matter. Money matters. You all getting this? I went to the airport, running late. My father-in-law was driving, my wife and I. And he had to use Title II. Back in the old days, there's no titles now. So we had to use Title II. But we got there. So we're running up. And we get to the desk. And Lay says, I hope you're not planning on, you ever meet these folks, I hope you're not planning on getting on such and such flight. Yeah, we are, I'm sorry about it late. Well, you're not going to make it. Because back then at Dallas Airport, you had to get on this little shuttle that went from one terminal to where the gates were. And so she said, I hope you're not planning on getting on this flight. I said, yeah, I am. And she says, well, I just don't think there's going to be enough time. And I said, well, listen, is there anything you can do? Because I really need to catch this flight. She says, do you have luggage? And I said, yeah, well, you have 2 items here, 2 bags. She said, oh, well, then you're definitely not going to make it if you have luggage. And I said, what if we don't have luggage? She says, what do you mean? And I looked at my wife and said, are you against buying everything once we get there? Well, this is money for you. I know you're thinking it's bragging, but this is money. When you get to make choices when money doesn't matter, you need the same thing to you. This is what I'm talking about. Come on, women. You can buy everything when you get to your destination. That didn't work out. Because she started hating. She was like, oh, so you can just buy everything, huh? I was like, no, for me, I was just saying. I didn't know, but it still didn't work. So money. Hurry up. So.
No, don't. Keep talking.
So we were at a football game. My son plays football. Let me take that picture here. Is that picture up next? Okay. So my son plays football. So he's playing football for little leagues. Okay. And I know he doesn't look too happy because they lost. 0-7. He really did. But anyway, so he plays. That's my youngest son. That's the son that some of you hear me talk about. He's really in love with me. Like really in love with me. Like you ever see us together, he holds on me. Like he won't let me go. He looked at me one night and says, Daddy, I wish I came out of your stomach. I mean, that's how much you know. I know I just messed you all up, didn't I? Just let that go. I know I messed you up. Let it go. You okay now? Okay, good. So it really is. I mean, like really. Like whenever I come home from a meeting, he'll like come downstairs, he'll get all you and hug me and says, Dad, you don't have on an undershirt. I said, no, I do, Makai. It's underneath my undershirt. Get your hands out of it. I mean, serious. So that shows you I had to make it to the game. This is the thing I love about prepaid legal, because in the beginning, I couldn't make it to anything, but I sacrificed short-term gain for long-term gain. You gotta give up something to get something. And then look, it might be your generation. You might say, look, I might have to give up my generation for the next generation. Maybe you give up a lot. Maybe you're 67, 75 years old and say, look, my kids are grown. I've got grandkids now. But I want to start my next generation. I want my great-grandchildren to have more than what I had when I started life. Remember it used to be that way? All your parents and grandparents used to say, I want you to have more than what I have. Where did this next generation come from that says, look, I'm going to get mine, you get yours? Right. So Makai, it's like a football game. But on the exact same day, my daughter's in a wedding. And so I'm thinking to myself, man, I've got to make it. That's my niece, 2 nieces and my daughter over to the right. So I can't disappoint my baby girl. So I'm thinking, man, I got to be there for the wedding too, because my cousin's getting married and my daughter's a flower girl. Now how do I manage both? Let's talk about money. So it's a football game. So my wife calls, are you going to make it? Not sure. I bought the clothes with me in the car though. She says, well, Makai's going to stink. Y'all been at the game all day, you and of course Makai's brothers. And so I said, we'll work it out. So I got on my little iPad. And I found out what the closest hotel was to the place where they were having the wedding. Called the hotel, said, can I book a room for the night? When I only needed it for 30 minutes to take a shower. And I called Mike Hughes and said, what you doing? I said, I'm leaving the football game. I've got to rush to a hotel and take a shower. He says, are you staying up there? I said, no. I just need for 15 minutes to take a shower. He said, you're paying for a whole night to take a shower? He said, man, you ain't playing. That's a whole nother level of money right there. But I couldn't miss it. To go home, I would have missed it. But by the way, for those who don't know, I don't spend my money frivolously like that. Because when I went to the desk, I told the guy, I said, look, I know I booked the room for a night, but I really only need 30 minutes. My boys and I, we got to run and take a shower. We're running late for a wedding. He says, oh, yeah. I tell you what. He said, you got $40? Yeah. I said, yeah. He says, give me $40 and you'll be all right. That's what he said. He's an old guy. He's 70 years old, right? And so I looked around and said, I guess I gotta need cash. He's like, yep, I need cash. Okay, so, oh, by the way, we got dressed. So we all got dressed. That's my boys, all my bow ties, and all made it to the wedding. All right, I got to end here. You know, in life, sometimes it seems like you're going in circles. But going in circles and wandering are 2 different things. And the thing I love about this business is that we can do the same thing over and over and over again and build up a very successful business. There are not many new things once you learn the things necessary to become successful. This is why no matter who you are in this room, you can become successful prepaid legal, because we pretty much do the same things over and over. It's called spaced repetition, and we become better at it. And everyone in this room can become better. But it's not just the activity, it's the attitude in which you do the activity. And I want us to start thinking the way that wealthy people think. I want us to start thinking about the things that we deserve to have in life. The things that your children and your grandchildren and the people who you care about deserve to have in life. But that can't happen until you attract success. You cannot chase success. And it comes from this posture that you develop. And you become this person that's so sick and tired of not having it.